In 2008, I was fortunate enough to be assigned to Guatemala in Central America. The season of Easter was looming at the horizon, and it so happened that I was assigned to the most undeveloped part of the country, a part that was totally forgotten by the government and in a way also by the church for centuries after the Spanish invasion. I was living in a place where the important celebration was not Easter Sunday, but rather centered around the sufferings of Good Friday. It was with some type of trepidation that I was wondering, how could I, an outsider, be somewhat in charge, being the priest of all that? And I thankfully realized that I wasn't, because people take over. The alfombras are mats that people make with, it should be ideally made with flowers, but made mostly with dyed sawdust and other material of the sort. But this one also has fruit and vegetables all around it to make it richer. That is, donating to Christ in the moment when he had nothing, that the people are with him. And that was a revelation to me, because it reflected in a way their own history of being in agony for so long, waiting for their rights, for their identity, for their culture to be valued. There are these young people reenacting every single station as we go along. And the streets of the town are covered with alfombras, with these beautiful colored mats that they worked on these mats for an entire day, and then in a few minutes they're gone because the statues and the people who carry them walk over them. At one point, in 1 year when I was there, something peculiar happened also that helped me realize how important it is for the people, where they are not just looking at a spectacle, at something that is a ritual or a performance, but something that is really alive. And you could see it in the faces of the people along the way. But at this particular time, at the station where the soldiers take this Simon of Cyrene, and the gospel tells that they compelled him to take the cross of Jesus. The centurion, the head of the soldiers, in the script has to say, now, who will take the cross from this criminal, from Jesus of Nazareth? And there is one of the guys already all dressed up as Simon of Cyrene, who is supposed to be picked up by two soldiers and brought to do the job. But in that particular year, when the soldiers said, who is going to take up the cross of this criminal, Jesus of Nazareth? A young woman from the crowd said, I'll do it, I will help the poor man. And this woman, totally unscripted, came out of the crowd, picked up the cross, and no one was able to move her from there. So we had a new wrinkle in the gospel account, but it did give us a very good idea of how people feel, how involved they are in this particular part of Holy Week.